so much for that kind introduction. Good afternoon, Your Highnesses, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Abu Dhabi. My name is Emma Graham, and I cover the Middle East for CNBC. We're based right here in Abu Dhabi, and I've called this wonderful country home for many, many years. I'm really excited to be joined by my brilliant panelists today. Thank you so much for sharing the stage with me here, and thank you to our hosts, ADGM, for this fantastic conference. So let's kick it off. Today we'll be talking about the role of women in today's economy. How can we promote female inclusion in the workforce and in leadership positions, both here in Abu Dhabi and globally? And what can the world learn from Abu Dhabi? So introducing my panel today, Her Excellency Maryam Al-Mahari, and of course Shaista Asif, thank you so much. I'd like to kick it off with you, Your Excellency. Abu Dhabi has seen an increase of 23% in women-owned businesses in just 12 months, staggering numbers. And the UAE now ranks 7th in the world for gender equality, according to the UNDP. Your Excellency, we have a global audience in the room. What do you think other countries can really learn from how the UAE is supporting women in business?
Thank you so much, Emma, and it's so lovely to be here with you and with Shaista, and really amazing that you're all here to listen to this conversation. And if we think about inclusion in the UAE in general, it's really central to the UAE. It shapes our identity, and we really ensure to value every individual. And when you look at female inclusion specifically, and you think of what's the secret recipe behind it, I'm a big believer that we have 5 key drivers. One is visionary leadership. The late Sheikh Zayed was the one who planted the seed. He really was a visionary man and really believed and advocated for female inclusion. And of course, his wife, Sheikha Fatma, is the one who's also a role model for us and really has taken the legacy with her late husband all the way to today, if you look at some of the incredible initiatives. So this visionary leadership is a key ingredient. If you think of the first school that His Highness built was a boys' school and a girls' school, because he really understood that the female population in a community also is a big driver for economic and social growth. So access to education is the second key driver, and it's in the UAE, of course, it's compulsory that every girl needs to go to school, and we also really encourage STEM education as well, which really reflects on some of the numbers that I will share with you in a bit. And then, of course, there's policies, regulations that really help drive female inclusion in all the sectors across all levels. And then there's partnerships and international collaboration. The UAE is one of the key global players on the international arena. And then last but not least, I think it's about empowering role models. So for example, Shaista and myself are very much about, we felt it, the empowerment that we got, and we want to share this with others. And so when you look at these key drivers, Emma, if we look at some of the numbers, 50% of parliament in the UAE are women, represented by women. 30% of the cabinet are female ministers. Then you look at STEM education, more than 50% of STEM graduates are women. If you look at the public workforce, more than 65% are women. Then we go to, for example, in very specialized areas, the nuclear industry, for example. Baraka, our peaceful nuclear power plant, has over 20% women in the workforce. I mean, this is a global top number when you think of a special area like nuclear. And then, of course, space, the Emirates Mars mission, the Hope probe, the science team was to 80% women. We've also got our first astronaut, Noura Al-Matroushi, as well. And then, of course, we have people like Shaista leading the largest healthcare provider here in the UAE. We have Hannah Al-Rostamani leading the largest bank of the UAE. So the list goes on, and this really is because of these key drivers that our visionary leadership have planted.
It's true, and as a woman, I'm American and British, and I come here and I see, we've done many interviews on CNBC, many women ministers here, probably more than my own country, and it's just really inspiring. So thank you for sharing those numbers. Shaista, as a female CEO, how can you really drive value creation, and how are you doing that in your business specifically?
Thank you, Emma. So I believe that female leadership, whether they're CEOs or anyone in a position of moving or enabling levers to growth, I believe that they have a very unique perspective and a unique ability to create the right atmosphere for growth. And they have the ability to go into a room, into a meeting, and think of a win-win situation. I've been in so many meetings where somebody comes in thinking, what am I going to get out of this? What is my take out of this? And at the same time, I've seen some phenomenal women over the years who come in thinking, what's a win-win situation for everybody in this room? And they get more success. So they encapsulate that by creating the right environment, the right atmosphere within their workforce, within their organization, and that obviously pivots the organization towards growth. Another aspect is that women have a very unique ability to look at a problem from a different lens altogether. Someone once asked me, this just a couple of weeks ago, and he said, what does it mean to be a CEO? And I said, well, first and foremost, as a CEO, your job is to hire the smartest people that you can find to surround yourself with, the smartest people in the world. And then as a job of a CEO, what happens is that the problems which your entire management team can't solve, the smartest people that you found in the world can't solve, they land on your table. And imagine the impact that we can have because of the ability to look at the problem from a completely unique perspective. My personal style of running, Pure Health, of managing the immense team that we have, is that it's extremely important for me to surround myself with individuals who have a vision, first of all. And I strike gold if that vision, their personal vision, dovetails into the vision of our organization. So our organization and my personal style, we are more human-driven rather than process-driven within the company.
And Your Excellency, when you think about your experience here in the UAE, how do you, Shaista's just talked about how she empowers her colleagues and young women that work for her. How do you empower women here in the UAE?
So I say we need to lead by example. So we need to be visible, we need to be reachable. We need to share what challenges we face, getting the work-life balance right, having a family, working. It's not always easy. So we need to share those challenges, but also share the solutions that we have. And there's no shame in spending time with the family on the weekends. You need to be able to develop your schedule around a really good work-life balance, because when you're strong and confident at work, that's when you can actually deliver results as well. And then support each other, be there for each other, be accessible. I mean, I know folks like Shaista and myself, the door's open. Anyone that approaches us, whether by email, by WhatsApp, by phone call, we always have an open door policy saying, we want to share what we went through. We want to share what kind of tips we have. These are not things that we keep for ourselves. We want to empower females, and we actually love seeing young Emiratis and young women coming to us, residents in the UAE, to actually say, I want to, but I don't know how, and I'm asking you for advice.
I'm going to take you up on that and ask you how to achieve a work-life balance, because I really have not figured it out yet. But I will come to you, and hopefully you can give me some good advice.
Anytime.
Shaista, let's talk about some of the barriers, because of course we're seeing so much advancement in this country and globally, but there are still really significant barriers. What do you think are the biggest barriers to achieving true gender equality in the workplace?
So I think the biggest, there are many barriers, but I think the biggest two barriers, which I would say is one, gender stereotyping. So that's a big barrier. Like you said, you wanted to know more about work-life balance. Why is it that we never ask a male CEO about work-life balance? Why is that question only coming to us? And then the second is mentorship and the right sponsorship. But funnily enough, Emma, I just recently read this book. It's Malcolm Gladwell, if you're familiar with him.
Yes.
And it's the book, The Revenge of the Tipping Point. And he identifies the number of people, the number of women which are required within any setting, any influential setting, to have a cascading impact. So for example, in a committee or a task force or a board meeting, how many women do you think are important, say in a board of 10 people, to have an impact?
5 out of 10?
No, So one woman gets overwhelmed and invisible. Two support each other, but three form a team. The magic number is 3. So magic number is minimum 30%.
We stick together.
Pardon?
We stick together.
3 is a team. And then you are able to make that kind of impact, which is so essential in any environment. For the second aspect on the lack of mentorship and sponsorship, women do tend to get overwhelmed by whatever that they're doing. And then maybe, they forget that there are others who were in the position that they're, or who will be in the position that they will be. So they need that kind of support to get them where they are. And we recognize this as an organization, which is why we started the first ever, the Emirati Women's Chapter, under the patronage of Her Highness Sheikha Fatma bint Mubarak, which enables these women to get the right support, to get the right sponsorship, to get the right alignment of their vision for them to reach the level that they aspire to be.
Let's talk a little bit about, you spoke about STEM, which is something really important in this country, and your background is in engineering, Your Excellency. Why do you think this is such a male-dominated field? Is it really because, as you said, there's not leaders we're seeing in this field who are women and have kind of walked that path before for young women looking to get into these fields?
So let me say, when I decided as an 18-year-old, I want to become an engineer, I want to become a mechanical engineer, I was brought up here in the UAE, and I was not afraid to go to Germany, to one of the top universities in the German language, and study with male counterparts, mostly male counterparts. And this is because the UAE gave me that confidence, gave me that mindset of, if you want to do it, and we're here to support you. I got full support from the government. They said, of course, go study in Germany. I got a scholarship, and I went and I started studying. And believe me, the looks I got, a lot of the male counterparts like, why would she want to be here? First of all, I was an international student. Second, German was not my first language. And then third, engineering was also not an easy subject. But with the confidence that I got from being in the ecosystem of the UAE, having that foundation, I was able to succeed, and I was able to prove to my male counterparts, I'm serious about this, and I want to succeed in engineering, and I gained the respect from my male counterparts. And if you look now at the numbers from that same university, the number of women has risen. And I'm not just saying me, myself, was one of the reasons, but I think we all play, as females, we all play a role in convincing our male counterparts, who then have sisters, aunts, daughters, who then also get empowered the same way. So I've taken this mindset, Emma, not only for me in my personal life, but I've taken it to my career as well. So 2.0 is really being this investment platform, this new investment platform that I'm leading now, and it's really all about how we enable AI, how we execute the green energy transition, how we empower communities. This mindset I've taken down to the subsidiaries, to the holdco level, and I've got some great stories of the mining company IRH. Ali Rashidi, the CEO, has taken it to a program calling Women in Mining. There's some women near the Mopani copper mine, which we have, that are doing stone crushing, and we're looking at what equipment we can give them to increase their livelihoods. We also have Beltone as a subsidiary in 2.0. Dalia, I don't know if Dalia is out here. Khurshid, she's an amazing female leader who has really turned around Beltone and is doing so much on women empowerment, youth inclusion. So we've taken this into the subsidiaries, and I just think there's so much we can do because we felt the empowerment to really amplify this to others.
I wish we had more time. I think we have to continue this in Davos, as you said, maybe other places, but really, really a pleasure to have you both with me today. Thank you so much again. A big round of applause for our panelists. Thank you so much.